I'm going to say a couple things and then I'll answer any questions you guys have. Um, I was not in a good place in the locker room after the game. And the reason is I need to teach these guys how to win and how to finish games. You don't come down and throw a lob pass out of bounds and throw a deep pass out of bounds and shoot a quick three with 2 minutes to go, drive the wrong way. We're running offense. You dribble the ball out of bounds. Why'd you do that? Well, I was trying to, whoa. In no uncertain terms, I let them know that ain't happening. Because in an SEC game, it's an 8-point game. You lose the game in 2 minutes because you do your own thing. You play to win. That means massage the clock, score at the buzzer, shot clock, and what's their team do? It's ball game. The drive Billy had, that threw it to Adu. That was like the dagger we haven't had. How many of you thought at halftime, this may be the worst shooting team I've ever seen? Some of you, right? And the hard thing, like all kind of teams in the country right now are not making threes. Making three, making four, like we have been. But when you're coaching, you challenge them because you want to put pressure on them. Because when they get in the game, there's going to be pressure on them. But for this team, the way we drive the ball, if it's contested at all, you should never shoot it. We're not a great three-point shooting team. If it's contested at all, you should drive the ball. If it's not contested inside out, or you're 7'2" and they can't get to it. What I did find out today, which I kind of knew, I hate that, but Z's probably got to take 5-6 threes a game. Would you say? If you're watching it. But the end of the game, I was not happy at all. Second half, again, for me as a coach, shooting 29%, and if we make the free throw, it's tied at half. Do you know how happy that makes me? That means we created some baskets. That means we defended them, and we fought them to keep them at bay. And if you watch this, you had to say these kids played hard. They played extremely hard. We ended up having 7 players. So this week, we go Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I got to put the zone in, like our own zone. Why would I go to zone? We got basketball bennies in here.
You can't afford to get in foul trouble.
There you go. We're in foul trouble, and I don't have any subs. Better go zone. But you better not just say, yeah, just stand there and wave your arms. We need to teach them how to play the zone and how we would play it, which again, after the game, I also told them, look, as much as I'm getting on you right now, I said, how much have we scrimmaged this whole season? They looked at each other like, not much of it. Like, have we? We had 5 guys for 2.5 weeks. Then we had 7, 8 guys. You can't really scrimmage. And when you use GAs like we were, understand what the rule is. You can't scrimmage. You can only do drills. So you could go up, stop, back, stop. That's all you can do. You can't scrimmage. So hopefully Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we can work a little bit and all the things that I've seen. And again, let me say this. Why would we scrimmage or play Lipscomb and these guys? It's got to be easier teams out there to play. But you know what? We needed it because I got to learn about these guys, and we're all together for the first time. And it's more about the process than the results, even though, like at Baylor, I would have rather have won a close game and learned that we really got work to do. But you lose. But it's more the process than it is just plain results, especially November. What's the date? November, December, January. Yes, Bob.
Say you're down to 7. I thought Trevor was playing real well. Trevor Brazil was playing real well when he went down. what'd you think of his play before he got hurt? And do you
I thought
have
he
any?
was good.
Yeah,
I thought he was good, and he was fighting. And so we got to figure out if he needs to be in, do we play he and Z together? Do we sub like I did, where they each play 20 minutes and then maybe together 5 minutes, so they play 25 minutes each? Do we do that? I was playing guards way too many minutes at Baylor. We let go of the rope at the end of the game. It was a 3-point game, shooting layups and throws and turnover. Well, they played 20 straight minutes. You can't do that. So I need Billy and Carter to give us some minutes, but they got to give good minutes or you can't do it. I thought Billy was good today. I think Billy impacts the game. He does it with his athleticism. He does it with his toughness, his defense, his ability to come up with balls. But let me say this. I probably shouldn't say it, but I will. If there are 10 better players in the country than Adu, I need you to show them to me. Who are they? Like, he's a unicorn physically now. Like, you don't have guys like him that are good enough with the ball. Now, there were 3 plays he should have passed. He went in, but that's why we got 3 days to work on stride, stopping, spinning, throwing, because those are the ways you get easy threes. You get in there and you get stuck. Well, why are you stuck? Because you got 3 guys on you. So don't try to shoot it. Pivot out. Who's open? Boom, shoot that one. Bang, a 3. So
do you have any update on TB? How long he might?
it was
be
his
out?
ankle. I don't know. They said it did swell a little bit, and they weren't comfortable with him going in. Because I did ask, can you give us 3 minutes so Z doesn't have to play all 20? And then I said, okay, Z has a problem. We played war games. Who's going to play the 5? And we said Adu. And you have Billy Carter. You're still pretty big. But,
And did Jonas D aggravate some? They said on the broadcast.
he's all healed, but you're going to have to play for the first time in a while, and you're going to have some pain. But you got to go through it and have pain. And is it too much for you to play? But I told him prior to the game, he didn't have a uniform. I said, dude, put the uniform on. I may not play you at all. I'm not planning to, but what if I need you for 5 minutes? And what did I play him? 7? And at the end, he was like too many. That's where he is right now. He's probably 75%.
And then the ending aside, the way he didn't like it, but you guys did actually shoot threes, well, 8 of 12 in the second half. You actually shot better from 3 than from 2. What'd you think of the 3-point shooting? How good is it to finally see the threes go down?
Well, who are the guys that made the most? Your 4-man and your 5-man. That's who made them. Adu and Z. And then we sprinkled in 1 or 2 others. But one had 6, and what did the other have? 2 or 3. I don't have a stat sheet in front of me. So now you have 8. And that's from your 4 and 5. Now, normally you'd have 8, and that comes from your guards or your wings. Thank goodness, right? I told the fans out there, you had to watch the first half and say, oh my gosh. But we were doing everything right. We were moving the ball. We had it. We boop. Wide open, miss. Boop. Everything inside out. The guy has it, miss. Another one here, missed. I was ready to strangle myself. Like, come on. But again, this is a good group. I'm enjoying coaching them. I'm holding them to a high standard. I'm telling them that. I don't back up. This is what it is. How do you finish a game? How do you massage the ball? How do you get open late? You can't just jog around. How about making free throws late? We were 7 for 14. What? We're a really good free throw shooting team. How does that happen? So we got things to work on. But let me just say this. Anybody wants to play Troy, I say, have at it. I'll be honest with you. I said it on radio. They remind me of my UMass teams. Send 4 guys to the glass. They out-rebounded us. 4 guys to the glass to go rebound. Dive on the floor, 3 different guys, hit heads to try to get the ball. 50-50 balls, they get 70 of them, 70% of them. And if they're making shots, now we wore them out, which is why we picked up, just to get to their legs. Because if they're making threes, doing what they're doing defensively, and it was a little bit of a rugby match. Come on now. I mean, you drove and you got pushed. Well, I didn't know where the contact came. Well, my guy was pushed out of bounds. You think he pushed? What are you talking about? That game. And then our guys had to get physical. I said, whatever they're doing to you, do to them. Whatever it is. Don't come over and say they're pushing. Push them. Push them back. They were good. Scott, he does a great job.
Coach DJ had 5 assists, 4 steals, and just 1 turnover, but 0 points. I mean, what would you assess how he's kind of settling in here, and not only just tonight, but the whole season so far with his play?
He's one of the greatest kids that I've ever coached. He is a player that plays to win, but we need him to score baskets too. I told him the best shot he has is a floater. Why do you go all the way to the rim and it gets blocked? I'd rather you shoot the floater. Just boom, boom, let it go. He shoots it high enough. And he's another one. I have no question. I mean, if you remember the game at Kentucky where Arkansas came in, he made 4 threes in that game. I mean, he's capable. He's not doing it right now. But he and Boogie give you 2 really good guards. Both of them still young, but 2 really good guards. Nelly gives you a vet. Carter and Billy give you 2. Carter's going to play into this, just believe me. But again, when you're coaching and the game's kind of close, you got to coach to win. I'll work on the later, the ego stuff later, the confidence stuff later, because right now we got to win the game.
You mentioned maybe finding out or already knowing that you needed Big Z to shoot more. Was that a message maybe before the game, like, hey, let it fly a little bit, be more aggressive from 3?
No, my message to him is you better get in there and rebound and block shots and fight. You can't do what you did at Baylor where the guy wedged you out, grabbed the ball, and laid it in. It was 1 bucket game. And we're making those are just effort plays. I'm fighting him. He's fighting me. He's not moving me. I'll foul him. How about that? I'll foul him. Make him shoot free throws. You're not just grabbing a ball and laying it in. Fight. So he has the skill. And he's a confident kid. I told him after, I whispered in his ear, I'm proud of you. Because for 2 days, I just said, you're not starting. You don't deserve it. TB does. So you come off the bench now. And he responded. That means that he's going to be fine.
Yeah, you guys held Tate and Connerway, who was coming in, averaging double figures through the first 2 games, to 1 of 11 shooting. Just what did you guys kind of do there defensively on him to kind of keep him cold?
Was he number 15?
12.
Which one was 12? Their team, their big guy, him, 15. I mean, what's that? Yeah. They were good. And look, we worked after playing Baylor and closing out to 3-point shooters with our hands below our knees. We worked for a day and a half on having high hands. And so you watch it, I'll show them the tape. They can do it, but it's easier to close like this. And then watch, the guy shoots it, right? And you go like this after the ball goes by your hand, and you say, I had my hand up. No, your arm was down. He had a free look. He shot it, and you didn't bother him at all. You go at him with 2 hands or 1 hand, that's all we worked on for 2 days. Here's what I said to my staff. We've got to look and zero in on 3, 4, or 5, maybe 3, 4 things that we need to zero in on that could keep us from winning. Pick and roll defense was better today, wasn't it? Well, we worked on it. High hands were better. You can't work on 13 things. What are the 5 or 6 things that could keep this team from winning other than missing every single wide open shot? Other than that. So that's what we're coming back to. And after watching this tape, we'll get together and I'm going to come up with 5 or 6 things, 4 things. We're going to be unbelievable at these 4. If we lose, it is not going to be for these 4 things.
You mentioned wanting to see more production from your guards, especially from beyond the arc, but in an age of what is pretty much positionless basketball, where 5s are regularly stretching the floor, and 4s have been doing it now for a while, How do you feel about that production coming from those positions there?
Z ran by me and said, Coach, you got to give me a break. And they threw the ball to him at the 3-point line. And what did he do? He shot it. Dude, you just told me you're exhausted. Why would you shoot a three? But it went in. I don't say anything. You could shoot a hook from half court. As long as it goes in, I don't care. It went in. Great shot, kid. Woo! Like that. Do it again. But I don't care. But we have to make 7, 8, or 9 threes. 10 today. How many do we make today?
10.
You make 9 or 10, and we defend and do the things that we're doing. We're one of those teams now. But you can't make 3 and shoot 20. You can't go 3 for 20, or you better go 3 for 10. That's it. Then what will everybody, how will they play you? Like Baylor, make you shoot threes. We're packing this in, shoot threes. But if you got guys banging threes, so yes, I told the staff after probably had to get him at least 5 a game where we create, and he'll get a couple off himself. But I don't want him to think he's a 3-point shooter. You're a 7'2" player who blocks shots, rebounds like crazy, a good passer, very weak around the basket, but you can shoot threes. But that's the last thing, not the first thing.
You talked about, I think when you got hired.
Do they always ask all these questions? I'm okay.
Yeah.
Or is my answer so long that they got to keep asking?
Well,
Go ahead.
We don't get you that often. So when we get you, we got to make it count. You said several times that when you were UMass 7-man roster, it looks like you may be going back to that at least temporarily. Do you kind of see that as
No,
the near
one
future?
team I had 6 guys. And you know who were happy?
The players.
Those 6. They were so happy. They smiled every day. They'd come in whistling and skipping. They knew I couldn't. They played against the walk-ons. So I had 5, 6 walk-ons. I had a coach the walk-ons, and I coached the 6. And we went to the Final Four. We were number 1 in the country. Now, we had Camby, 6'11", had Dante Bright, Dana Dingle, Carmelo, Edgar Padilla, Carmelo Travieso. But Tyrone Weeks, that was the 6. Played 6 guys. Did we ever play zone? No. Did they foul? No, they knew not to foul. And then they knew it's not football. It's not a touchdown. If the guy beats you, let him give the layup. We'll throw it ahead. We'll make it 3. We beat him by 1. It's not football. Don't grab. Don't foul. And they knew not to foul. So, are we in the kind of shape to play the way we are, how fast we're playing, and then picking up? Whew. We played fast, but we didn't pick up when we played. We played you right there in front of us.
And then Z said he actually likes coming off the bench. He always did that. His brother always started. So it sounds like he's okay coming off the bench.
Who's that?
Zavonimir. He says he likes coming off the bench.
Yeah, unless we don't have another big guy. Then he's got to start, and then we had to go with Adu as the 5. But when you go Adu, Billy Carter, you're still 6'8", 6'6", 6'5", 6'6". You're still fairly big, but the guard's going to have to go rebound.
Oh, you guys shot the ball in the first half. Were there any adjustments that you made at halftime to, get better looks or hit better shots?
Yeah, I told Z, start shooting threes, kid. No, I didn't. No, you just, if I look at these threes that we got, the only one we shouldn't have taken, and I told the team, if you're crowded, do not shoot it because you don't shoot it good enough. If you're crowded, drive the ball. And if you want to be crowded, slowly ball fake to see if he'll move and then drive by him. We're a really good driving team. Now, when we drive, we don't seem to want to pass like we should, but we'll get better. And then the one that Adu got blocked. Well, you should have driven the ball. He's too close. If he blocked it, he was too close to you. But he was a dude, like I said, I'm more than pleased. And I'm even telling him, you take leadership of this team. I told the team after, when he speaks, you all listen. the way he's working, the way he's defending and rebounding and doing all the things he's doing, then he went in a huddle and got on him. He's telling us what to do, and you're not listening. You know, the lob play over the top. No, he yelled at them to listen. You're not listening. The last 2 times you didn't do what he's telling you to do. Boom. They listened, and I said, there you go. That's how you lead. Folks, good win. When do we play next? Can I just say one thing? I thought that we were playing Saturday. I thought, and then everybody thought I was talking about football. I was going to call Sam and say, Sam, I thought we were playing. So I said, we need you at this game Saturday. We're going to have a recruit in town. When he walks in that building, and then I got off and someone says, you know, we don't play Saturday. I don't even know who our next opponent is. I stay today. So all I know is I have no idea. I don't even know, like I know now it's Monday, but I didn't. I thought it was Saturday. So yeah, you're right. I will do that, but I wouldn't do that to Sam because we're playing. Who are we playing? So I don't need to say we need to.
Freaking game of the year.
Yeah, right.